Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Welcome to, again, another late Nerdrotic Nooner. And I think this is just going to be how it's going to have to be until the end of the year, considering my schedule and things I'm doing and how long these damn videos are taking to make. They just seem to take longer. That last one, 4 days. 4 days. My God, they've made TV shows quicker than that. I know that for sure. So, greetings, everyone. We'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. And hey, let's see who we got here. Roy McGarry, Scott Williams, AJD Helix, Bio 1656, Mini Warmonger, Green Lion, Mr. V. We have a new member, Hyperion 9997. Welcome to the Proto Molecule level. And yes, I am going to be talking about the Expanse today as well. Mayfield Jukes, Bear Nerd Fun, who will be joining us on Friday Night Tights. Hail the fourth wave. According to Christy, thank you for coming along with your wrench. And I appreciate you. You're here always. And I know I am horrible to deal with as far as punctuality. It's not really in my vocabulary. And quite frankly, since I started YouTubing for a living for now, I don't need to be punctual. I really don't. I was before, but I had to work. I'm not good with time and clocks and stuff. I haven't worn a watch in decades. And, it allows me to keep my creative flow going whenever I need to. So today, we are going to talk about the YouTube police. Yes, that very concerned YouTube police that is out there telling other YouTubers what to do. And I'm sure the motivations are as pure as the driven snow. I am sure that they really care about those other YouTubers. I'm sure they really care about the Fandom Menace or the quote-unquote whatever community we are for one. I'm not part of any community. But it's generally not aimed at me. It's aimed at my friends, guys, YouTubers I like, I subscribe to, do live streams with, good dudes and ladies. And so we could talk about that. So I'm sure you noticed in my video when, and I do this a lot, when I talk about shills in the access media, I leave out YouTubers. And I have a general rule that I don't call out other YouTubers, even if they call me out, because we're all part of the same platform, not community, platform. And we're all in this together. But I have no problem calling them out on their bullshit when really the motivations are clear. So we can just cut the BS on this, please, because it's getting really tired. Listen, the concerned YouTubers, Disney Star Wars isn't going to give you anything. You're not going to get anything. So I don't know what your motivation is other than maybe the other channels are getting traction and you're not. I always, I try to emulate. I try to get inspired. I try to look if my channel isn't getting traction over something. I generally think it's my problem and something I need to deal with. And That I think would be sound advice, but this is YouTube, so this is ridiculous. I don't even know why I'm bothering saying it. But especially every time Doomcock drops a video, my brother Doomcock, it triggers some people. And there's also some concern over spoilers. People putting out spoilers. There's a really groundbreaking maneuver you can do to avoid spoilers on YouTube. You don't have to click on it. You don't have to watch the video at all. I know it's really out of the box thinking, but you might want to try that. It really works. I don't know. I've always had, spoilers don't bother me. I like spoilers, and, but just for future reference, every single review I do has spoilers in it. So you know, I've stated that on my website. I state it everywhere. I do spoiler reviews. If I don't, I'll tell you in the title, but just assume it's going to be spoiled. So when I review The Expanse, I will be spoiling it. I'm working on my next video is a review for New Terra, which is the first episode of Expanse Season 4. I've already seen it. I saw it a couple months ago. And I'm finally putting together a review. I know that's crazy talk, right? I mean, you clicked on my face. You clicked on my face. So, well, it's not my face. I don't put my face on thumbnails, and I never will. You see enough of it in the videos. Trust me. Hail Doomcock. That's right, my good friend Doomcock. There will be no Exozone tomorrow. He's going to do his Friday night frolics tomorrow because of his schedule. And I will be doing a Nerdrotic Nooner tomorrow morning, probably pretty early. I'm also going to be covering The Mandalorian Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then, of course, there's Friday Night Tights, and Bear Nerd Fun is going to join us, and so is Odin and Comics Division, and probably Jeremy. Jeremy's never obligated to come, but he shows up to everyone, so I really appreciate him doing that. And a couple of other people, maybe I know I want to get Tug and Yellow Flash on together, and maybe we can do that. But I'm also going to try to get on, one of my patrons is going to come on for a segment this Friday. I haven't decided which one, but we'll figure it out. We're going to kind of do it in alphabetical order. We're also going to talk about, when that's done, I want to talk Viacom and CBS. I guess the merger is complete today. I don't know if it's official. It was put in Variety or something. So we're going to talk about Star Trek a little bit. It's not fun news. It's not good news. I'm sorry to say. And then I want to talk about Superman. Just Some Guy did an excellent video 3 days ago on this subject. Thought it was really good. I love that YouTuber. And Bounding into Comics has an article, and it's the Superman problem that Hollywood has. And it's a larger problem that Hollywood is going to be facing in the future because they are so jaded. They are so far off the path that I don't think they know how to write the simplest character to write. I mean, I could write a Superman story. The thing is, they self-censor now. They can't write a Superman story if they're going to stick with their political agendas. So we're not going to, believe me, when Jar Jar Abrams comes in, Superman will be, it'll be changing skin color. They'll do some gender, they'll do a swap of some kind. Trust me, that's happening. I have no inside information on that. I just know it's Jar Jar Abrams, and he'll do anything as long as he can rip somebody else off, in my opinion, for the story, or he'll probably just repurpose his crappy Superman script. But I love Superman, and it was mind-boggling for the longest time how Hollywood can't figure this character out. And then it just became clear. If you just watch any television of the last couple of years, it's very clear why they can't or won't write a good Superman story. What's up, Modalicious? How's it going? Stargate 404, Rhaegar Targaryen, Lily Patton, Gray Troll, Peter Han. Thank you again for joining the Nerdrotic Nooner. So I don't spend a ton of time on Twitter. I was poking in and out today. And I saw a little exchange between Odin and it was over. Mecha Random did a video talking about the leaks and the rumors, and a TV spot came out today that confirmed one part of the Reddit leaks that I went over in 2 videos ago. And there's a character named Uchi or Uche. I'm just going to call him Uche, but not Uche from Geeks and Gamers, our good friend Uche. And he's got a blade, and it's a very convenient blade of an assassin because they give you all the secrets or something on the blade. They write, a secret assassin's going to write down everything he did on the blade or something stupid like that. It's a MacGuffin. It's a J.J. Abrams alias MacGuffin. I think there might be 2 or 3 in this film. I don't know, and I don't care. And it certainly looks like it confirms the Reddit leaks. And I don't know if all of them are right, but as a lot of people have been saying, it's Game of Thrones Season 8 times 20 all over again. Here we go. YouTube is going to be the place to be on December 19th and 20th. I just want you to make lots of popcorn and sit tight and watch the videos flow. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I'm going to hurry up and get mine done so I can watch everybody else's. I will be, because I'm on the West Coast, I'm the last one seeing the film. So I will be doing a live stream after I watch the movie. I'll come straight home and do a live stream, and then I'll cut a video for the next day. Or next day or 2. It depends on how long it takes. And then I'll be watching everybody else's video. It's going to be Christmas come early. It's going to be great. I can't wait. And it kind of looks like the ramp up to Captain Marvel, but this is going to be way, way worse. Way worse. And I'm looking forward to it. Execute Order 1977. I love that hashtag. Now, we might need to, somebody talked about shortening it, and I'm kind of down with that idea, but whatever Doomcock decides, I will back. I will back. Whether it's Order 77 or Execute Order 77. And if you don't know what that is, instead of going to see Rise of Skywalker, just watch the original trilogy and try to get like the original theatrical cuts if you can. If you can't, no big deal. And stay home and watch that instead of watching the Rise of Skywalker, because you know what, we hear about it, but actually seeing it, and I can discount it in my headcanon all I want, but the minute the Emperor comes back on the screen, the reality will hit that Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker's story are just a category in Disney Plus now. They are not American mythology anymore. They're a category in Disney Plus. Thanks, Disney. Thank you very much. And go screw yourself. So Doomcock has been consistently releasing rumors from his inside sources. And while I have no knowledge of who these people are, I know one thing from Doomcock from knowing him over a year. Now, Doomcock does not need to make things up or wouldn't make things up. People genuinely send him stuff. So for the people out there saying he's making stuff up, I mean, they need to cut that rhetoric down quite a bit, especially when it's coming. The people these accusations are coming from, it's rich because it's projection. One of them is one of the most notorious people on YouTube, known for false flagging. And listen, as a fellow flawed individual who's done my fair share of effing up on this planet, but I also paid the price. I also made amends and did everything humanly possible to make amends. And you know what? That's some good unsolicited advice. If you do that, you're free. And it tends to make me less bitter, less likely to, I don't know, react to somebody you don't know and try to harm their channel by making false accusations. But I mean, it's right in line with this person. So, mocking somebody's religion on Twitter. So of course, we're talking about Jarbo. And he mocked Odin's religion on Twitter. That freaking pissed me off. And I usually don't get involved in any of this stuff. I think it's lame. personally, and I think it's a waste of time. As a matter of fact, the last video I did, I was going to make a tweet about it. I mentioned it in the video, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I not making a video out of this? So that, I think that's good advice if for a new YouTuber or up and coming. Don't put your best stuff on Twitter. You know what? Save it for the platform that you're growing on. Twitter is a time suck. It's good for communication. It's good for kicks once in a while, but like it's. I think it will distract the hell out of me. It would, and it has in the past. That's why I try to stay away from it, because when Twitter just started, I was on it all the time, and then I quit it for a few years, cold turkey. I don't think I had forgotten my password and hadn't jumped on it for at least 3 or 4 years. And if you wonder why it's called Nerdrotics, well, my old comic shop, when I left, I had changed it to Nerdrotic, but I had 2 accounts and I changed it on the wrong account, but I was going to change it back. And the old comic shop has not changed it. It's been almost 6 years. It's called the Comics Experience Outpost, but they're still using my name, and I'm pretty sure they're fully aware they're using it, and they want to keep it. So that's fine. So that's why mine's at Nerdrotics. But back to, Jarbo called out Mecha Random, and she was just reading an article. She was just talking about the leaks possibly being confirmed by that TV spot. And Jarbo chimed in and said it was like watching somebody work on a car who has no knowledge of mechanics or something, which is Rich, coming out of Matt. I mean, I'm not sure what his skill set is, but I'm guessing, I don't know. Mecha Random is getting more traction than he is right now, so that might have something to do with it. Maybe he's got a problem with Mecha. I don't know. Mecha, I'm good with Mecha, and she was just reading an article. So as far as the test screenings are concerned, I think if I don't know. So one of the rumors is. And Jeremy talked about this in a video too. One of the rumors is people walked out of the test screening. If I was pressed on that one, I would say I don't believe that. I would just think that if people were at a Star Wars press screening, they would, or a test screening. I'm sorry, not a press screening, a test screening. They would show a certain amount of class and not walk out. It would have to be horrifically bad. I've been to 5 or 6 friends and family screenings in the last, I don't know, since 2003. And they're different. I mean, some were put together last minute. Some were put together literally for friends and families, but still friends go. You know, I saw Punisher Warzone like that. I saw Spider-Man 2. I saw Revenge of the Sith at a friends and family screening. So I've been to a few, and I've been to one in the last calendar year. Now, I don't know. The last one I went to was not formal. It was one that was put together for basically one of the co-creators of the show for Derek, for the boys. So that was pretty informal, and they were passing out hats, and they didn't make anybody sign NDAs. And back in the early days, I never signed any NDAs, but in more recent ones I have. And you know, I don't know. I think it might have been, I certainly believe there were test screenings. I can't believe that they would just, well, maybe they would, I don't know, make this movie by the seat of their pants and not show it to fresh eyes who aren't working on the film, to maybe get a feel of how the public feels about it. I don't know. That's something I could believe. I don't know, cause I'm not there, but I certainly don't know enough to discount what Doomcock is saying. And, some of his rumors look to be, kind of spot on, and some weren't. And that's the nature of rumors. But again, we are not bound by any ethical code other than making sure we explain to you that these are rumors, that these certainly could not be true, which Doomcock has done every time, because I've watched all of his videos. So I know that. And when I report a rumor, I do the same thing. And it shouldn't be anybody else's business, but this is YouTube. I understand they're going to make it their business, especially when it's channels who are having a hard time getting traction and connecting to their audience. And instead, again, of looking within and figuring out what's wrong with me, we're going to lash out at a bunch of other YouTubers, especially, successful ones, instead of asking, hey, how'd you do it? Or what are you doing right now? And listen, every time I've asked somebody for help or advice, people have been happy to give it to me. I've never been blown off, not once. And anytime somebody asks me, I'm happy to tell you anything. I have no secrets. I'll tell you how I make my thumbnails. I don't know. Just ask. Be happy to help. We're all in this together. And, when release the Snyder Cut, says Ryan Cannell. I love seeing other people, successful. I think it's fun. The more, the merrier. I'm proud of my friend Ryan, who's been kicking ass on YouTube. Made a little name for himself, being the baby Yoda hater. I'm sorry for that. I do apologize to humanity for that. But that's my man right there. So I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you, son. My YouTube son. He's done very good. So coming out and bitching about people, spoilers, it's like, you know what, focus on your own shite. And I don't know, being thirsty for attention. I mean, like, you're on YouTube, you're getting attention anyway. I mean, I don't know how much more you need. And if it's a traction thing, I don't know what to tell you. We're all going to hit ruts. I've hit a rut. I'll hit another one. I promise you I'll hit another one. There's ups and downs. I do not get too excited when things are going great, and I don't get too down when things stop. When I went to Italy, my channel, ground to a halt. I was in Italy. I was cool. I was like, I'm in Sicily for the first time. This is great. I hadn't been able to travel in so long. So, I figured, if I just make videos, the traction will start up again. And guess what? It did. Content. Content is what gets your channel going again. Consistent content, and try to be as honest as you can with the people. Riding in the fence, I don't know. I'll say what I like and don't like as a viewer. I don't mind channels that just provide news. They don't really have an opinion on anything. They just want to present stuff. I would say the best at it to me is Charlie at Emergency Awesome. I think he's one of the best YouTubers out there. He's like freaking like a machine. And his content hasn't really evolved that much over time, but it's still entertaining. It's still informative. He I wouldn't even call him a shill. I just think he genuinely likes pretty much everything. And you can tell. That's the kind of stuff you can tell. So, yeah, I like Charlie a lot. I mean, I've never met him. I've been subscribed to his channel for a long time. I don't agree with his Watchmen reviews, but, don't have to agree on everything. Especially, going after people unsolicited. I could understand if somebody talk shit to you and you're going to smack back. I mean, that's fine. I get it. But, piping in on stuff, it's just so clear that these people want attention. And especially with the Gray Order thing, the Gray Order thing was about healing the fandom. We're going to heal. I'm going to take it upon myself. And I love that kind of narcissism. It really is staggering to take in that you're going to heal the fandom. There is no YouTuber that can hurt or heal the fandom. Sorry, I hate to break that to you, but that's not going to happen because the repurposers known as Lucasfilm broke the fandom, and only they can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. They're not. There's going to be the people who are going to stay, and I'm guessing, I'll just speak for myself. If Star Wars maintains its path, like it's going to be like this, we're going to, like, the Mandalorian's going to be the best we're going to get. I'm going to move on. I can stop talking about Star Wars and be fine on this channel for a lot, because I didn't talk about it for a long time. After I watched The Last Jedi, I was freaking done. And I got pulled back in again. But after Rise of Skywalker, I don't know. I've got other fish to fry, to be honest with you. I think Disney has changed. I think the Fandom Menace played an integral part in that change, and I think they did it very early on, before my arrival, before a lot of people's arrival. I think when it initially started, they were aware and they made a change. Because I'm sure, I don't care what people say publicly, internally, Disney is very aware of all the money they lost because of the Fandom Menace, and more importantly, it's not because of the Fandom Menace, it's because of the decisions they made within their narratives, because they put in a bunch of politics where it doesn't belong, putting things in where they don't belong. Isn't that what got Hollywood in trouble from the first place? Isn't that why we have a Time's Up Me Too era anyway? But they don't learn. They don't learn. So Star Wars is really supposed to be for everybody. And I think they did recognize early on that they alienated a large portion of their fan base. And that was primarily a few YouTubers in the beginning, Jeremy, EVS, Jeff. And I think the changes were made back then. God, the battle with the access media was so much worse a year ago. And that's why I did my video. If you look, they still attack the Fandom Menace, but it's pretty weak. It's pretty weak. You're not hearing the rhetoric of the alt-right troll-ist, blah, blah, blah. It's just toxic fan now. And believe me, that is progress from a year ago. That's major progress. So the Fandom Menace has done very well. Extremely well for just a hashtag consumer movement thing. It's been incredibly successful. Considering it, getting a $1 billion corporation just to budge is kind of a big deal. We were never going to win. They're not going to take away the Disney trilogy. We understand that. And honestly, that's what it would take to bring me back. And I'm okay with moving on afterwards. But I'm definitely going to chronicle its demise. But, coming in with gray orders and selling merch, like before you even get your first member, I don't know. And then so you're creating an exclusive group to heal the fandom. So you're creating a group that'll split off from something to heal the fandom. When the Fandom Menace isn't a group or a clique. I'm sure there's people who will say differently. I know who those people were. I was just talking about one of them. Star Wars has nothing to do why a lot of people in the Fandom Menace have a problem with that person. Counselor of Nerds, was that his name? No, that was the Counselor of Geeks. I'm sorry. I forgot his name. But the gray order guy, but he would have been welcome in the Fandom Menace, but he made this big, I don't know if I can join. People told me not to. There's no join. There's no not joining. It's a hashtag. My channel is not Fandom Menace. I love the hashtag. I love the people in it, but, I do my own thing. Nobody sends me marching orders. And yeah, that's it. But it's not going anywhere. Whether I move on from Star Wars or not, there's still the MCU, Phase 4 that's coming up. Black Widow trailer looked pretty decent. You know what? But I'm not excited. I'm not like, I can't wait to see Black Widow. My first thought was like, she should have had a movie a long time ago. It's a prequel. And honestly, again, if I didn't have the channel, I'd probably wait for it on Blu-ray. I wouldn't run and see it in the theater. But yeah. But it didn't look bad. I guess some fake company was copyright striking my fellow YouTubers. That's why I didn't bother covering it. I'm like, no thanks. Saw the James Bond trailer. If you judge it objectively, the trailer was fine. But all the baggage that comes with this film, I don't think it'll be fine. I don't think. And again, thanks for being here, Ryan. What's up, Mark C? But yeah, if people want a YouTube police, that's fine. If that's what gets you a couple extra clicks, do what you got to do. But there's no long-term gain in that at all. That's just drama that people will be over and it'll be forgotten. And I would focus on like trying to find a good TV show to cover or something. Find a niche somewhere. whatever your passion is. But you actually got to have a passion for it, and you also kind of got to know what you're talking about. So that's why I thought it was rich that Jarbo called out Mecha Random. Because I question, a couple things. That's all. And the only reason I bring him up is apparently I got brought up in the Discord leaks. I don't know how the hell I got brought up, but I did. So what? That's great. That's awesome. Let's get to the chat. And I'm going to be going to my friend John F. Trent's Bounding into Comics. We're going to discuss that Superman article as well. So Ryan Cannell from the RK Outpost for $2. Matt is not the father. Didn't Matt in a live stream ask Jeremy about his daughter? And then he just smacked Odin. He just disrespected Odin's religion. I am not a religious person. I am agnostic, but I am leaning towards a grand designer actually existing now, because I don't think a better example of human infallibility has ever been made. An embodiment of a living lesson could rise up and exist by accident, and that's Matt. Matt has been a great lesson on what not to do in YouTube. Do everything opposite, and you're good. So I don't think anything like that can happen by chance. It's kind of like the Babel fish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It proves that God exists, and then the whole argument is God says, well, without faith I'm nothing, and a guy says, well, the Babel fish proves you exist, because the Babel fish is a translating fish, because something that useful would not sprout up naturally through evolution. So God realizes that he just he ceases to exist in a puff of logic. I'm not doing it any justice, but it's been 10 years since I read the book. Welcome to the proto molecule level, Modalicious. And I will have emojis soon. I got to talk to Josiah, but the young man I think was having computer issues today. So maybe I'll send him some cheddar to make me some emojis, and that can go towards a new Josiah computer fund. Thank you again, Hyperion9997. Stargate 404, $10. Wanted to say the last vid, the new San Fran policy sounds like the episode of Star Trek DS9 where Cisco goes back in time to the 21st century San Francisco, and the homeless were forced into sanctuary districts. Yes, that is actually something that they are considering here in California, is forcing homeless people into housing, which is no. You can't get rid of homeless people. San Francisco brought this on themselves. The problem is, when I got here, it was horrible because San Francisco was giving cash to the homeless, like $400 a month. Yeah, $400 a month to a bunch of drug addicts. So yeah, we were getting homeless from all around the country. And then it stopped. And then new mayor London Breed came in, and we don't arrest people anymore. We don't arrest shoplifters. The amount of cars that get broken into, it's gone up 400%. We have to scoop up homeless people out the front of my son's school all the time. It's a really nice neighborhood. My son's school is in, and it's got like these grass on the street right in the middle. There's the big grass divider in the street. There's all tents now. So yeah, I just can't wait to get out of here. I can't get out of here fast enough. It's going to suck to pack up this room. No lie, but I'll do it. Cause I need to get gone. This is not the city I moved to. This place actually was a very cool place to be for a long time. Politics aside, this place used to be fun. Well, good bands came here. There was a lot of artists here, unfortunately politics has kind of ruined me on that too. But there was a time when we could just create and have fun and wouldn't worry about that shit. Not anymore. Oakland's booming though. Good for Oakland. I won't live over there. Although the weather's nicer, but I still won't live in Oakland. Cracklin for $2. A Nerdrotic is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. Sorry. Thank you, Cracklin, for $2. Some nobody for $2. Uche, I'm in the movie. Crash. I love Uche. Release the Snyder Cut. RK and Uche are so down with their, I mean, it's bad taste, but I mean, I'm not on the Jeremy extreme. I own every Superman movie ever made, and I watch them because I like Superman. I really love the one, Batman, I think, kills a couple people in the scene, but the scene where he fights off all the dudes in the warehouse when he saves Martha. I love that scene. I do. I truly do. But I also like the plane crash scene in Superman Returns. I think that's epic. The rest of the movie sucks, but the plane crash scene is good. Scott Williams, thank you for becoming a Jaloja member. I will show you where the P corner is. Welcome, Scott. Can't wait for the Orville to come back. Seth, God bless your heart, man. I will just say, please, don't get political with your show. You're kind of right up against it, and it's perfect. It's fine. It's fine. Just stay there, man. Be funny. Write some good sci-fi, and you got a fan for life. AJD Helix for £5. John Williams' Episode 9 original soundtrack is going to be cut up and thrown in the Episode 9 trade wreck at random, not scored to picture. What? Are you serious? Because I'm going to get triggered. So they're just going to, it's not being scored to the picture. So he just recorded a soundtrack and they're just going to plop it in. Oh my God, that is sacrilege. That is, I don't know. Maybe they did that for the last two movies and it's news to me, but it ceases being art. Then it's just a goddamn Star Wars widget. That's all it is. It's a Star Wars widget. Dark Stars, thank you for the bad news, AJD. Dark Star 76 for $10. None of the Rise of Skywalker trailers have gave me that feeling, you know what I mean? Like a kid. The only recent trailer that gave me that was the Expanse one from New York Comic Con. I saw it and it was totally giddy. Same here, Dark Star. That trailer is brilliant. It is. I could tell you right now, New Terra is one of the better Expanse episodes because you can see their budget like tripled. It's beautiful looking. It's a setup episode, but it's still one of the best episodes. I will be praising it mightily in my review. But they set up 2 seasons in that. Biggest disappointment though is the Expanse is not being released weekly, and that's a huge disappointment. So I'll say it right now. I think the Expanse only gets 5 seasons. I think that's it. I think Amazon will pull the plug because it's expensive, and it's Amazon's fault. And I was trying to tell them, and so was Doomcock, and so was the entire audience. The audience was saying, please release it weekly. Please. We want to podcast and give you free advertising, and just to get kind of ignored is annoying, is really annoying. They should know better. Their marketing team should know better. This was a grassroots movement that supposedly saved the show, and now you're not listening to people. There's no argument you could give me for the binge model being better. It's not. You can always binge after it comes out. You can't give me an argument that people talking about your show for 3 months isn't better than somebody talking about your show for a month. Not even that. Look at the boys. Boys made a huge mistake too. As a matter of fact, Derek Robertson texted me today, and I will text him back. Next season of The Boys should be released weekly. I'll tell him that. I'll give him my reasons. I mean, I don't think he's got any power. I think he's just an executive producer on the show, but he's the co-creator of the show, and he did the art on my banner. So Cosmic Crater Girl, that's drawn by Derek Robertson. If you're not aware of him, he's a comic book artist, and he drew Transmetropolitan, The Boys, Happy. He's a good dude. I've known him for a long time. He's a friend. And Yellow Flash, never forget that Matt Jarbrough is a false flagger, and I won't. I always said at the time that like, listen, everything's forgivable if you make amends. If you because that's something we have to do in recovery. And now sometimes it's not safe to do that. People are that mad at you, but you have to at least write a letter of amends and either try to get it to them or do it for yourself. Because you're actually doing it. I'm doing it for me. So I can be free of the guilt, and you got to make the best effort to make things okay. And at all times, and it's freeing. It frees you of that baggage of the guilt, and you can move on and not, project so much, because that's all what this is. There's, very little out there that's unforgivable. There's a couple things that are pretty unforgivable, but even false flagging. And the thing is, I don't care what the rationalization is. You're going after people's income, and quite frankly, when people were talking about Matt, that was helping his channel. That was just pure free publicity for Matt. And quite frankly, he had people on his side up until that point. Yeah, it was lame to do. It was lame to do. And then, I don't know, man, all the lashing out at people and not being sorry. And I don't know the whole story, so I won't pretend to know the whole story. But, listen, I know what it's like when the baby's born and you don't sleep and you go a little crazy. I understand that. I do. I wouldn't try to take away somebody's income because they said some mean things to me. People say mean things. They do. It sucks. Just ignore it. That's what I do. Thank you for standing up for Odin, says Paola RL, for £1.99. I meant to do it on Twitter too, but I got sidetracked and then I was driving, so I'm going to just do it on my platform. And Paola, you're welcome. Odin is my friend, and I will stand up for Odin. So you know what? If Odin says something dumb and somebody smacks him down, that's fine. I'm not going to, that's part of life, and Odin's man enough to take it. But bringing up his religion, I think is a low blow. But consider the source on that one. So thank you, Paola. And Paola, thank you for rocking the Nerdrotic shirt. That was a great picture. I retweeted it. Thank you for your support. You're awesome. Yellow Flash, you're awesome too. Thank you very much for the $2. Paradox Comics for $5. So when did Ray find One Eye Willie's doubloon? Palpatine's Sith dagger. Jar Jar Abrams is ripping off the Goonies now? Yes. Is this going to be the Goonies, Harry Potter? Everything. Star Trek fans have been saying this for years. The dude doesn't have an original bone in his body. He was anointed the next Spielberg by Spielberg instead of the fandom. The fandom will listen. Zack Snyder is a more talented director than Jar Jar Abrams. Fact. Why? There's Snyder movies I enjoy. And there's one Jar Jar Abrams movie I enjoy. One. And it's and I can't enjoy it anymore, but it's 2009 Star Trek. Nicholas Horton for £2. Hail Gary, have you seen the Bond trailer? I have. Objectively, again, trailer looks fine, but I know when we see the movie, it's going to be here. I'll put it in the chat here. This will be all of my thumbnails. I put this on my first Bond. Video that I did. Oh, wow. That's really like grandpa typing here. Oh, Sonny. There we go. That's what it's going to be. Right there. And I'm guessing, I'm forgetting your name now, but the female 00, if they actually make her a 007, she'll always be carrying a rifle, and Bond will be carrying a pistol. She'll always be like standing up while he's sitting down. There's certain things I'm noticing in Watchmen that I think they're going to do. It's the symbolism of feminism in Hollywood. Time's up, me too. Thanks a lot, Harvey Weinstein, you perv, jackass. But Harvey Weinstein did give us Lord of the Rings. His name's on it. His name is on it. Casey Osowski for $5. All this crap I hear about Luke makes me sick. Thanks for nothing. JJ, you hack. He's barely going to be in the movie. Like, supposedly they cut out a lot of his stuff, even the voiceover. And they reshot most of the scene with him and Rey, and it's just going to be about Rey, you're the best. You're the best. All the Jedis live in you. We've been waiting for you. Luke, my name is Luke Skywalker, stepping stone for Rey. Here's my father, Anakin Skywalker, stepping stone for Rey. God damn it, it's annoying. That's so annoying. And then, oh, why can't we just like Star Wars again? Why can't there be latitude and nuance and acceptance? I didn't do anything. What? I'm just making a Star Wars movie. I didn't like crap on the older characters to make Rey look better. No, that was a narrative decision. That was an organic narrative decision. Yeah, my ass. Jaegerbomb, $5. Saw Dave McCrae video saying YouTubers are profiting on hate, need Soywalker to fail, and are disgrace to journalists. I understand if you'd skip it. Oh, I'll watch it. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I would not want to disgrace myself by saying I was. There's no journalists out there. If you're caught, okay, Matt Miller, as much of a dick as that guy was, he wrote his own article. Okay, I give him that. He wrote his own article. It was filled with hate and trash. And by the way, Jar Jar Abrams picked him out for an interview. It's not like he accidentally ran into that guy. He picked the guy who had the symbolism of all the Empire guys pointing up, making it look like the bad guys from Germany, and then equating that to two of my friends, Jeff Hicks and Doomcock. Yeah, Jar Jar and then asked for nuance. Go F yourself. F it in your a-hole. So I'll check that out. Not yet. I mean, it's a meaningless job now. You're part of Dinosaur Media. A guy from San Diego, a little skinny guy with V-necks, starts up his channel, gets 4,000 subs, is being talked about on EFAP. And then Matt Miller, who probably has $150,000 in student loans, gets a blog that he probably gets, he probably has to live with 6 roommates, and his daddy got him a job. I don't know. He's one of those guys who has a picture with his mouth open, though. So I just, you just want to say, shut your mouth, boy. So, honestly, unfortunately, I don't feel embarrassed at all. I don't think any of my friends do. But, no, I am profiting. Yes, it's called working. I am profiting off of my opinion. And for now, I'm saving my money. It's doing okay. I'm not getting rich, and I don't need to be rich. I'm not a greedy person. But if the Rise of Skywalker is good, I will tell you. I will say, hey, you know what? Last Jedi sucked. I don't like anything they've done to Luke, but the movie, people are probably going to like it, that's it. It won't make me a fan or anything. It would have to be the greatest thing ever made, and I don't think Jar Jar can do that. But yeah, if it's good, I'll tell you. If it's better than Last Jedi, I'll tell you. If it's better than The Force Awakens, I'll tell you. Clicks be damned. And like I said, there's other fish to fry, and we'll see. Hopefully Picard's good. I'm not hoping Picard is bad. If Michael Chabon can make a good Star Trek show, if Michael Chabon can make a mediocre Star Trek show, I'll be happy. Then I've got some Star Trek to enjoy. Great. I'll just review some mediocre Star Trek. Great. Mark C. Did you see Zack Snyder's social media post? Is it real? Does it exist? Of course it does. Oh. So my question is it, I guess he's got access to all the footage. Is it a real Zack? Thank you, Mark C, for the $5. So is it like a true blue Zack Snyder cut with no Joss Whedon garbage in there? Just Zack Snyder stuff? I would love to see it. I think if Warner Brothers should release it in the theaters and give the profits to suicide prevention, I think that would be the very classy thing to do. And I would buy 3 tickets. I'd buy 4 tickets and go. I'd love to see that. Warner Brothers, I'd love to see that. And then you could profit off it by putting it on your streaming service. Just do a limited release, suicide prevention. I think that'd be great. You would get Marvel fans behind you on that one. Lady Gravemaster for $2. Hashtag execute order 1977. Indeed. Lady Gravemaster is the inspiration for that hashtag. Again, it was her idea. She's going to sit at home and watch the original trilogy instead of Rise of Skywalker. So, Lady Gravemaster, well done. Well done. Thank you for the $2. Daniel for $10. The internet was once the lawless Wild West. It certainly was. The corporations want the internet to be a company town where their products are our only option while they also sell our metrics. You are their nemesis. And we are. In 60 Minutes, Jeremy from what's up, Jeremy? Jeremy from The Quartering did a great video pointing out 60 Minutes going after YouTube, CBS going after YouTube, CBS who also who was complicit in keeping a certain interview out there about a certain guy who offed himself who used to own an island. That CBS, the CBS that's gone after me personally on this channel, and it's gone after Mecca, which has gone after Midnight's Edge, which has gone after Doomcock because of our opinions on Star Trek, which will be rising up again. I do not fear the eye. Yes, we are their nemesis. They want us to exclusively buy their shit on their commercials, like Jeremy said. The thing is, it's too late for them. They might be able to win some battles. They might be able to cause another adpocalypse. They might even be able to bring down this platform. Another one will rise out of it. I guarantee you, this is too big of a thing, and it's just getting bigger. This is the second most searched engine on the planet. The problem is the elitists who run it, if they actually ran this thing like it should, this would be the biggest company in the world. But when Susan Wojcicki and the people in Silicon Valley around here, they're so bloody rich, they don't need any more money, and they really want they're really stuck on their, Silicon Valley. The first season of that show is absolutely genius. It's totally genius, and they are stuck on making the world a better place. If you have not seen the first 3 seasons of Silicon Valley, Mike Judge is awesome, and it's genius. But yes, we are the nemesis, and I will remain it until I'm not. And there's people who are far worse than I am, but I'm gonna stay on them. I actually I haven't been on the Access Media lately. Been kind of taking it easy on them. Nettle Nerds for $2. Wow, didn't a different guy try that 80 years ago? 80 years ago. What was I talking about then, Nettle Nerds? Remind me in the chat. Don't send another super chat. Tesla? Cracklin, $5. Dude, I just found out that Adam Driver is a Marine Corps veteran. Still won't watch Rise of Skywalker, but now I feel bad about it. I thank anybody who has gone into service for our country. I thank you for your time and your sacrifice, and I respect that. And I have nothing against Daisy Ridley or Adam Driver, personally at all, or Jonathan Boyega. I got nothing personal against anything. The only I have something. I don't like Jar Jar. I don't like Jar Jar Abrams. I think he, again, is a snake oil salesman. He's ruined entertainment. I think he is devious guy. I think he's very manipulative. I think he gets what he wants whenever he wants it. I think he's one of the most privileged people in Hollywood. I think he's been given a lot of privilege by very few powerful people, and I don't think he's earned it. Not at all. And he's trying to turn franchises into political platforms because I think he's just a yes man who really enjoys his chapstick. But Adam Driver, nothing personal against. That's good that he was a vet. Yeah, well, he definitely has the face of a regular guy, which that's fine. I have no problem with that. Loquacious Primate for $5. I also done with Star Wars, so Rise of Skywalker is kind of voyeurism for me. Yeah, same here. Thanks for replying to my email. If you get a few minutes and still down with Skype, send me an invite. I will, if I get a few minutes, Loquacious. It's been crazy. But I got to send you a copy of Watchmen, and I will do that. I'm going to my P.O. box tomorrow, so I'll send you. I have an extra copy of Watchmen for you. 200-watt studio for $5. That all the Jedi reside in you now in the trailer. Is Rey Highlander now? She gets all the dead Jedi powers? There can be only one. There can be only Rey. There can be only Rey. Heard you say you were, for Lucas' script for 7 and 9, focused on the microbiotic world of the Wills, focus on midichlorians. No thanks. The Force shouldn't be explained. No, I'm not down with that at all. RMV for $4.99. No, I hate that. I think that idea is stupid. The little Wills like flying around in spaceships in your bloodstream. I think that's the dumbest idea. But at least it's George's idea. Yeah, that's a horrible idea. It's an utterly terrible idea. I don't. George shouldn't make any more Star Wars either. I think Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will make decent Disney Star Wars. There's no way you can make real Star Wars, because honestly, Star Wars should have grown up. We should be getting like a hard PG-13, maybe even some rated R stuff in Star Wars. I think that would be a good evolution for it, but that won't happen. That won't happen. You can have kid Star Wars and adult Star Wars, and quite frankly, there's more adults in the Star Wars than kids now, and that's just a fact. Ryan Cannell from RK Outpost for $2. It's Snyder's cut, 35 millimeter with 214 minute runtime. That is brilliant. Well, dude, if it comes out, I hope we can see it together. I'd be freaking happy. And I'm going, by the way, yeah, I'm going to Southern California, and not this weekend, but the following. So I'll be in LA and San Diego, and we can work on a meetup. Maybe we can get Ryan there and some of the LA peeps or something, and we can do a Southern California pre-Christmas meetup. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? I got to go visit my dear mother, the Momrotic, and after I'm done visiting the Momrotic and the father-in-law Roddick, I'll have some free time. So plus I like to drive. I drive back home to Southern California like once every 6 months just to touch base and remind myself that that's truly home. Jay Terry for $2. Here's profit for your opinion. Thank you, Jay Terry. I thank you. I thank you. I appreciate it. Evan S for $1.99. It's not moving on me now. Why is it not moving on me now? Oh, that's why. Hang on. Did you watch Dave Cullen's video on BitChute? I have not. It's in my playlist. But I will. I promise you I will. And I love Dave Cullen. I know it needs help. What's going on? What happened to BitChute? All right, so let's get to. We got Neil Gaiman. Let's hear what Neil Gaiman has to say about Superman. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Let me get that up. Whoa! What the hell? There we go. Oh, we don't want to do that one. We want to do this one. Sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing. Window. Oh, it's not coming. Hang on. There we go. That's probably going to be off to the side. There we go. All right. Sorry for the silence there. I had to concentrate. It's very hard for me sometimes. Neil Gaiman responds to Warner Brothers' struggle to keep Superman relevant today. Okay, so before we even get superhero in a time where we have been just deconstructing it for a while, it's very easy. Superman's stories are very easy. You have Henry Cavill Superman saving people would be cool, and then you have him like fighting some galactic villain, and think. Man of Steel was on the right path in certain aspects. So you find a good, powerful villain. It doesn't have to be from Superman's rogues gallery. And you have him fight. And that's it. It's a Superman story. I want to see Henry Cavill in something inspiring. But the problem is Hollywood can't write inspiring right now. Superman would have to beat his son. He would have to have a son to beat or drink or, something. Because we cannot portray a white male mentoring anybody right now. It's just not in the cards for Hollywood. They are self-censoring, and that's why a lot of the stuff sucks right now. And it won't stop there. It's gonna go to all males at some point, and it's starting to creep that way. Variety laid out what's ahead on Warner Brothers and DC films in the wake of Joker, and the first look signing of Jar Jar Abrams. Batman, Harley Quinn, cartoon sucked. Potentially other villains and even Green Lantern have something in the pipeline, and Superman kind of got lost in the conversation. The studio apparently has no idea how to make Superman relevant to modern audiences. This sounds exactly like Doctor Who ran out of ideas for Christmas specials. You know who runs out of ideas for Christmas specials? Weirdo elitists. And may the Big Blue on hiatus for the next few years. What a waste. What a waste. Sandman co-creator Neil Gaiman caught wind of this news and disagreed with the conclusion. On Twitter, Gaiman responded to a tweet linking to a Forbes piece commenting on the lack of resonance Supes has these days. He wrote, "It's not about making Superman relevant, but instead making him inspiring." Thank you. Thank you, Neil, because Superman is timeless. Star Wars is timeless. You know where Star Wars went wrong? Remember that Kathleen Kennedy interview? Remember when she said, we need to make Star Wars relevant? The most popular franchise on the planet needed to become relevant. Kathleen Kennedy, you dumbass. It was relevant before Disney bought it. That's why you paid billions. If it wasn't relevant, it wouldn't have cost billions. I mean, it is obvious now that she wrote a bunch of coattails. She might have signed a few checks. She might have done some parties. But quite frankly, her husband, Frank Martin, is just like Dan and Dave with Game of Thrones. They were so out of their league, but HBO surrounded them with like the best of the best as far as television and made them look good for a long time until they had to produce. And when Kathleen Kennedy had to produce, well, Sandman co-creator Neil Gaiman, who I like some of Neil Gaiman. I do. The Doctor's Wife is a great episode of Doctor Who. Caught wind. Okay, I already read that. So don't make him relevant. You make him inspiring. It's that easy. It really is. The Forbes piece talks about the boundless optimism that defines Superman, which other heroes, Captain America, Wonder Woman, Shazam, possess. It's quality paying off for them in terms of box office and popularity. Superman, on the other hand, the article contends, can't stomach his absurd and messed up mythology, adding he's not cool, edgy, funny, or malleable. All right. The Forbes article, you know what? If you're writing for Forbes, you're not cool or edgy. You might be malleable because you're, fat. I don't know. Gaiman isn't alone. The internet and the comic book world think differently. Another writer, Kurt Busiek, offered his observation on Superman's relevance last month, tying Kryptonite's cause to climate change. Oh, no. See this? No. How dare you? How dare you, Superman? How can we make Superman relevant today? Not have Kurt Busiek write about him. As if truth, justice, and the American way weren't insanely relevant these days. Phil Jimenez. He's a good artist. Let's see what Eric Larson has to say. Does he want to draw any more 10-year-old Asian girls? Pour milk on them and whatever the hell he's doing. He's an ethical, principled man fighting against corruption. He's never been more relevant. He's Mr. Smith meets George Bailey and the Circus Lights. I can see that. Yep. Oh boy, man, this is a quite, John, you've got, is this John? John, did you do this one? These are all, no, it's JB Augustin. Okay. Patton Oswalt is a comedian I used to love and just can't anymore. What? Make it super gritty, kind of early 70s Scorsese style. He failed reporter or something, and Lois Lane is just a figment of his imagination, and call it super. I hate Patton Oswalt now. There isn't a storage of pitches of possibility for new Superman movies. Warner, yeah, there is. There is a Matthew Vaughn wanted to make one. Let him do it. With Abrams as confirmed, he's tried to get a film based on the property Up and Away since 2004. WB almost met with Michael B. Jordan. He has his own ideas yet to be publicized. Not that it matters. They didn't come on to agreement and don't sound like they'll bother looking for a director or writer, regardless of Jordan's schedule. And there's still Henry, the Cape is still mine, Cavill. He never truly was fired or walked away despite appearances and his silence since Justice League came out. Moreover, after working with Christopher McQuarrie on Mission Impossible Fallout, they went to Warner to pitch Man of Steel 2, which I am down to see. According to McQuarrie, there was no takers for the original idea. He wrote the following rather scathing remarks on Twitter in July, later takedown. Too complicated to explain. It tied into Superman movie that Cavill and I were proposing. No takers. The studios have never cared for my original ideas. They prefer that I fix their broken ones. Well, the studios don't want anything original. WB seems okay not having a DC extended universe sans The Last Son of Krypton now. Supergirl, by most accounts, including ours, is poised for a movie before her cousin Cal gets one, and nobody will watch it. You go make a Supergirl movie that nobody will watch. The thing, there's our boy John. Look at John. Hey, John. There's been plenty of Supergirl on television, and how those ratings doing? How those doing? Not very good. Not very good. Welcome to the membership. Welcome to the membership. Hang on. I love Superman. The Donner Superman film is a perfect Superman film. The Donner cut of Superman 2 is a great I don't care if it's a little funky. I even like the Richard Lester Superman. Superman 3 is awful. But I still enjoy it. Superman 4 is awful. I still enjoy it. The George Reeves Superman, that's what I grew up on. That in 1966 Batman, that made me a superhero fan. Richard Donner got Superman right in 1978, a true hero in a cynical time. Exactly. If it could be done with that, it could be done now in an equally cynical time. Says Grendel Fan 84. I could not agree with you more. It's easy to do. Sorry. Hang on. That was a notification from outside. That is, oh, look. Yes. Sorry, I'm replying to let's chat soon. Okay, so I'm gonna chat soon with Derek. Yeah, I've got a GoFundMe going for my store. I'm thinking of adding. Tug suggested this, and I'm gonna take the suggestion. I'm gonna add a little giveaway with it, so I'm gonna see if I can get a commissioned art piece that's exclusive that I can get, like, make copies of, prints, and signed by a big time artist. And we'll see if we can make that part of it. Corporate coin for Australian $2. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. AJD Helix is a member of the Proto Molecule level. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Dan Reese for Australian $2. Can't wait for episode 9, The Rise of Poodoo, to crash. Exactly. I can't either. I can't either. Stargate 404, Bay Area born and raised, but I'm living in Cali too. I just can't take it anymore. Glad to have you, Gary, as company. California exodus. It's happening. Thank you for the $5. And listen, I'm going to make a promise to the state I'm going to. I will not bring California politics with me. I will happily stay within the parameters of your state's politics and be grateful to have them and free of California right now, because it sucks. I like it here a lot. This is a cool state. We've got everything here, everything, but there's no turning around. It might turn around once people actually wake up, and this is going to be years from now when they wake up and realize, God, this state's been a one-party system for 40 years and nothing's ever changed, but they keep blaming the other party who has no say in this. I mean, none. Yeah. And San Francisco's even worse. Justin Walsh for $5. I'm not as angry as other folks over how bad the trilogy is, but I gotta say your channel is awesome. You're super genuine. Keep up the great work. Justin Walsh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am glad I am genuine. I don't want to be a fake ass faker. Don't. It's going to get me in trouble someday though. It's going to get me in trouble. I'm going to rub somebody wrong. I always do. When The Expanse comes out, I'm going to warn y'all, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, by the way. But if you're somebody who's just like sick to death of 2019, if you know what I'm saying, you're going to see that show and go, wait a minute, there's a bunch of girl bosses in it. There always was. And when they do it, it makes sense. So there is a big badass woman called Bobby Draper, but in the books, she's Samoan. She's 6'3". She's 250 pounds. And she's a trained Marine. And they don't super Mary Sue her up. She's pretty serious. She doesn't have much of a personality, but it's a good character. It's a good written character in the books. They've done an okay job in the show. I'll say this is the one case where I'll say the books did a better job than the show. They also have one of the best characters, who's the president of the UN. It's a woman named Christian Avasarala, and she's a foul-mouthed Indian or it's Indian, and she runs the UN. And this is what's cool about The Expanse. So imagine planet Earth. It's 300 years from now. Imagine planet Earth being run by the United Nations, but a realistic version of it, not like some utopia. No, things are shitty. You either have to work for a giant corporation or the military, or you're on a thing called basic. So half of planet Earth, due to a climate crisis, Earth had to unite under the United Nations. And half the planet is on welfare. It's on a thing called basic. And it's really a grim view of what it would be like if the United Nations took over. And I appreciate that. And it's written by people who you would think would be rah, 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 but they're realistic. And that's true sci-fi. That's creativity over my petty personal political beliefs. And it's good. It's really good. I reckon Doomcock's going to get targeted, maybe sued by Disney and Chili's because he won't accept crap entertainment. Joe Go for £5. So if Disney wanted to sue one of us, they could. And I've heard that straight from the mouth of somebody who I respect in this opinion. They won't, but they could. Their lawyers are clever enough. They could certainly just pick out one of us and make an example of us and completely shut us down. Probably get our channels taken down if they wanted to. I mean, they're fucking Disney. All they have to do is probably call Susan Wojcicki and said, you know what, get rid of the so-and-so, channel's gone without explanation. And there's some rule that they can cite. But they don't. So I'm not going to give them credit for that, but they don't. It would legitimize everybody though. Every other channel would align with this other channel, help this other channel out, because that's what the Fandom Menace does. We don't, listen, people in the Fandom Menace will call out other YouTubers, but 90% of the time it is when they are poked first. Just saying. So, but we help each other. You know, if when Ivan got his channel pulled down, we tweet, we try to contact YouTube, we try to do things. You know, if somebody, I don't know if I'd help Jarbo, but if anybody else asked for help, even somebody who's been critical of me, I'd help. I'd help them. We can't be, I mean, listen, for one, I'll say it again. The one thing Freddie Prinze Jr. said that made sense is, you know, I'm older than he is, but it's like I'm 50. Mean tweets don't hurt me. And one piece of criticism doesn't hurt me, and it wouldn't make me not want to help another human being. Matt G for $1. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Tones Review for Australian $5. Hey, Gary, just doing this for a shout out. Of course. Oh, and I feel Baby Yoda will certainly bring the normies to the man, to the man. I'm just calling it the man, not the Mando. This is the way. You have spoken. So Tones Review, is that a channel? Let me check it out. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, YouTube just says in a few days they're going to be scrubbing subscribers. So if you guys could please make sure, just over the next few days, keep an eye on the bell and all your favorite YouTubers, not just me, all your favorite YouTubers. YouTube is doing their, every couple months, they clean out the bots and old accounts, and there's always collateral damage. I mean, always. So please make sure you're still subscribed. There's going to be a lot of YouTubers crying in a couple days because they're going to lose, like, depending on the size of your channel. Like the last time I lost 600 subs, which, you know, hey, I don't like losing one, but you know, it happens. But, yeah. Here, I'm trying to get to, let me do it in a new window, open link in a new window. It's not letting me go there for some reason, but, Sam, check out Tones Review. If you try to find me on Twitter, and I'll share it on Twitter. Sam Whiskey for $1.99. Hey, Gary, what's your opinion on digital comics? I think they're great free with your printed pamphlet. Digital comics will never, ever, ever carry the industry. Ever. Because the nature of the comic industry is it's not a big industry, and the people who are in the comics are not generally wealthy. It is the hobby of mid to lower middle class. So you're going to have a lot of people who have the propensity to pirate these comics. I'm not judging. I'm just stating a fact. I lost customers at the store because they were eternal college kids, you know, guys in their 30s, girls in their 30s who were, you know, lifetime students, been going to school long enough to become a doctor, but they don't have a degree. You know, listen, I have friends like that. No judgment. But that was a few of my customers, and they would bail out because they just couldn't afford it because they're living off of student loans, and they pirated their comics. Okay, fine. But eventually they came back. So once something hits digital, and believe me, Hollywood's going to find this out, it's free for anybody who wants to take it. I'm not telling anybody anything new here. So digital comics will never work. It's a tactile experience. You got to touch it, feel it. You can't collect digital comics. It would be they'll always be comic books, but it's never going to be what it once was. The retail industry is just, we're just going to watch it die at this point. There'll always be shops that last. And quite frankly, if you go back to the old school formula of not carrying new comics and just carry old comics and toys and vintage stuff, and you find a good place, a good market, a good niche market, if you can, own the building, don't rent it, own it, you could be there forever. You'll be fine. It's like a vinyl store. I mean, there's vinyl stores in San Francisco that have been around for years, and they don't rely on new content at all. And almost that's the way it should be. I think I even was too guilty of just being too reliant on Diamond and the new comic books. And it forces you into becoming a real shop. Otherwise, you're just a Diamond retail shop. Now it's going to be back to the old days, honestly. Comic shop retailers are going to have to do their homework. They're going to have to look into the Indiegogos. They're going to have to find a place to go. They're going to have to pay attention to Ethan's channel. They're going to have to find people like Tug. They're going to have to... A comic shop needs to be connected to YouTube right now to survive. Every comic shop should have a YouTube channel, and don't Don't start one that's, here are my top 10 comics for Wednesday. It's Wednesday, everybody. Here are my top 10 comics. Marvel, DC. Don't do that. Hire somebody with a personality, start a podcast. I mean, that's why Nerdrotic started. So, but none of them did it. Because honestly, a lot of comic shop owners are boring as hell. They are. I love them to death. I do. Comic shops are beautiful things. They're like my bar, since I can't go to bars anymore. Problem is there's the one I like and I would hang out here in San Francisco is a little too far away, and I can't go back to my old store. It's just, nah. It's too heartbreaking because I go back to it, and I've gone back a couple times, and it just looks damn near the same as the day I left it. And yeah, almost been better to just close it instead of sell it, but that's the way it goes. Hyperion 5182 for $5. Gary, I feel like you and Hambly and Poole and a lot of others need to host a panel at CPAC 2020. Please do that. They need to hear this. I would be happy to. That is some mighty big company. I don't know if I would be small potatoes in that. But I'd go watch. I like Tim Poole. I like Hambly. a lot. I don't know. He probably doesn't know who I am. Neither does Tim Poole, but both of those guys, I subscribe to them, and they're very good YouTubers and interesting. And I get a lot of my info from them now. I trust them. That's my news right now. The quartering, Tim Poole. That's how I get my news. I trust them more than I trust the mainstream media. Give me a guy in his office, yakking away over an article, any day, than some Yahoo reading a teleprompter and suppressing stories, that could vindicate and probably free a lot of young girls from being scared to death right now. Yeah, imagine all the victims of that dude who had the island who are living in fear right now. But this is the age of the woman. Sure. All I want is a Fleischer-style Superman movie. Yes, including his theme: fighting robots and mad scientists. Be inspiring, be hopeful, be fun. Ironcaster, you just did it right there. Make Superman a period piece. Make it in the 30s. Boom. Do it. Why not? And make it exactly like that. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Probably the most overhyped movie in the history of Comic-Con. I love that movie. I love it to death. There's nothing to it, but it's got Superman Fleischer robots in it, and it's great. And I like that S better. The animation is glorious. The music is wonderful. Lois Lane's always getting in trouble. That damn Lois Lane. But the art is so good. And they just don't, look at the animation of today. It's so Adventure Time. I hate Adventure Time. I sold a lot of Adventure Time comics, though. I ain't gonna lie. I sold a lot of those comics. I was making tons of money off it. And I know Rick and Morty, it's funny, but I hate that animation. I do. Venture Brothers is the best cartoon still. It's still on the air. We get a season every 3 years. Go Team Venture. Loquacious Primate for $5. I do web development, so I wanted to talk to you about plans tied up now for coding and other projects, but I may be still to help you. If you wanted another perspective, I will need your help. Yes, I need to build a website, a real one. And I listen, the website, it's a WordPress site that I do myself, and I know I'm self-taught, and it's nothing extraordinary. I know. But it's there so you can get my videos and live streams in a podcast form. You can subscribe to Nerdrotic on iTunes. There's 2 there. I'm not going to get rid of them. One's Sutra Watchtower, one's Nerdrotic. It used to be called Sutra Watchtower because we couldn't think of a name for the podcast. And we literally did our first episode right under Sutro Tower in San Francisco. And we just said, we'll do this name for now and we'll change it later. Hey, Gary, your review on the new Black Widow trailer in 8 words or less. It should have been first, not excited. It should have been first, not excited. That's 6 words. Decent. Decent. It doesn't look, I'm sure it's going to be, filled with Captain Marvelisms, but hopefully not. If it's like Winter Soldier, cool, but I wanted a hard R Black Widow where she's like, slicing throats open, like Daredevil season 1. Daredevil season 1 is the best thing Marvel's ever produced. Ever. And that is a fact to me anyway. But thank you, Ironcaster, Loquacious Primate, and TM Martin. Hi, TM Martin. They did ScarJo wrong, TM. She should have had a movie years ago. And Kevin Feige can blame Pearl Mutter all he wants, but Kevin Feige's been in charge for years now, and he could have done one too. And now we get a fracking prequel. I'm sick to death of prequels. Done with prequels. It should have come out ages ago. That's right, thematic. Goat. Austin Wood says goat. That would be. Oh, so we need to talk about here. Let's talk about this. Some very sexy corporate news concerning Star Trek. Viacom merger. So let's talk about the new age of Star Trek that we're going to get that you're not going to like probably. That you're not going to like. And here's the deal. Viacom and CBS getting back together at one time might have spelled the end of Alex Kurtzman CBS Trek, but third-party contracts are in place. They have to be honored. Secret Hideout ain't going anywhere. So here's the future of Star Trek. Because we're in the streaming wars, there's a bunch of extra money, and they're willing to throw some money at a lot of bad stuff because they need content. Redstone came out today and said, we're going to be the leader in content, which means we're just going to throw a bunch of shit at you. We're going to throw a bunch of stuff at you. CBS is way behind. They are in trouble in the streaming wars because Disney's going to kick their ass. Netflix and Amazon are already kicking their ass. HBO Max is going to come in and be a player immediately, which I think they'll be. I think HBO Max might do better than Disney Plus. Because there's and adult stuff there, and Disney is just family stuff, man. I think you would be better off having both, and I think HBO Max, has more stuff. It would be more stuff I want to watch anyway. But that being said, a new era of Star Trek is a new era of bad reboot Star Trek. Possibly if Star Trek 4 gets made. I don't think it will. But yeah, as long as there's a bunch of Ketwalskis out there who are going to enjoy this shit, which there isn't enough. So Star Trek 4, if it gets made, it'll make $5. Nobody's going to care about JJ Trek anymore. But they're stuck. They have nowhere to go. So our only hope is like Shaban does something good and we get 3 seasons of Picard. The Section 31 show, I'm asking him right now to please make that show. Please make that show. Because that will end Star Trek so fast. Oh my God, it's so... Michelle Yeoh, Michelle Yeoh. I like her a lot. She seems like a cool person. She is awful as Philippa Georgiou in Star Trek. She's good as Captain Georgiou, the stoic captain, but she's dead. Now she plays like her mirror version where she's like your mom trying to be sexy. It's like really cringe and embarrassing. That's what Michelle Yeoh is. And they want to do a whole series on her. Which is great. Because Alex Kurtzman doesn't give a shit about quality of entertainment. He just goes, hey, we got Michelle Yeoh. She's Asian. She can be a lead. That'll make me look awesome. The networks will give us money for it. It doesn't have to be good. And that's how he goes about Star Trek. He's all, let's pump a bunch of money in special effects. I'll get some soap opera writers who couldn't write their way out of a paper bag. and will come out with the dumbest writing on television, bar none. Okay, for example, if Mahler was to if he was to review one episode of Star Trek Discovery, it would take him 8 hours. It would take him 8 hours. I've been trying to make a Star Trek Discovery Season 2 review for 3 months. And it's so long. I've gotten a little frustrated with it, to be honest with you. Because there's so much shit in each episode that's so dumb, and you can't skip it. If you skip it, you feel like you're missing something. But here we go. They've made it show. CBS and Viacom have finally finalized their planned merger. Oh, and look what they show. Spock, and they actually made the very charming Rebecca Romaine. I want it to be Stamos. I really do. You kids got to get back together. You were a good couple. You were a handsome couple. She's very charming. I like her a lot, and they made her annoying as hell. That's how bad these writers are. Variety reports that the deal was completed today, and that Viacom and CBS will merge into an entity known as Viacom CBS. Wow. How many of you out there believe that they had actual marketing research to come up with that title? Viacom CBS. Paramount Pictures falls under... Why isn't it called Paramount? I don't know. I think Paramount would be better. Okay, so Paramount Pictures falls under the umbrella of Viacom. So it will now join the cable channels. MTV, is that still on the air? Nickelodeon, is that still on the air? Comedy Central, is that still on the air? And BET, together with CBS assets. Does anybody watch that shit anymore? Which includes Showtime and, of course, the streamer CBS All Ass. The combined company will be led by Bob Bakish, who is quoted as saying, "I can't wait to get on with this. It's been a long time. It's been a winding road to get here. It's an incredible collection of assets." For lack of better way to say it, why should genre fans care? One reason sticks out, and it's the size of a battered Cardassian spaceship. The merger means big things for Star Trek. Well, it would if it was good. Listen, I'll tell you right now. I hope you're listening. Sherry Redstone, is that your name? Listen, you are a strong, powerful female in Hollywood. To get by, you must have gone through a ton of shit, and I'm sorry you did, and I'm glad you finally got your company. I'm glad your dad is a Borg, and he's barely alive, but he could still sleep with two incredibly hot women. So, I mean, there's some good genes there. All I care about is Star Trek. So I'll tell you, one human being to another, if you stick with Alex Kurtzman, you might as well take all of your money, take a leak on it, set it on fire, and then flush it down the toilet. Because that dude will never, ever, ever make good Star Trek. He won't make mediocre Star Trek. He's very consistent in his suck. But it will suck. This is the guy who directed The Mummy. The Mummy. Okay. I mean, he destroyed the Spider-Man. He effed up Spider-Man. You have to try to F up Spider-Man. Two franchises, two cinematic universes he's destroyed. This will be his third, but you're going to give him money. Okay. Whereas the movies and television side of the Star Trek universe had once been somewhat connected. Admiral Janeway appeared in Star Trek Nemesis, for example. Those connections ended when Paramount and CBS broke apart years ago. Because of this, the television side of Trek all featured now on CBS All Access, and the movie side of things, the Kelvin timeline from the J.J. Abrams and others, have been kept apart. Even if there's a great idea for a character from Star Trek Discovery, which there wasn't, that show up in film, it wouldn't have been possible until now. That is, now characters and events from the Kelvin timeline have complete freedom to intertwine with television and vice versa. Oh, great. Great. Oh, my God. We can take like a piece of snot and then a piece of poop and put it together, and now it could be like a smegma sandwich. Additionally, characters that have shown up on television of late are quite popular. Anson Mounts Pike and crew. I love how they pointed out. They pointed out Pike and not Michael Burnham. Take that, Kurtzman. Oh my God. Oh, that's great. Could theoretically have a potential to show up in films and even have a film all to themselves. There's one key thing here. It's a word. It's a single word. Desire. Is there any desire from the fandom to have an Anson Mount Captain Pike movie that wouldn't like make 10 million in its opening weekend? I'm going to say no. And I like Anson Mount. Hell on Wheels was good. He looks like a good Captain Pike, but the writing has been horrible. So, the adventures of Captain Pike and all the rest from Star Trek The Next Generation made the leap into the big screen before their parting of the ways. And, the adventures of Captain Pike and all the rest from Star Trek The Next Generation, Picard, I'm sorry, made a leap into the big screen before they bailed. And yeah, that didn't turn out so well. A Worf movie? Sure. An epic Deep Space Nine cinematic revival? Why not? No, okay, I'm kind of down for that. But Rand Shankar, who's running the Expanse, you give it to him. Or Ronald D. Moore. Every Trek Doctor, Ethan Peck Spock, no. And the dog from Enterprise, mixing it up with in the Kelvin timeline on the big screen, weird. But if they wanted it, they could do it. Further details of this merger and any further plans for Trek will likely be coming in the next few months, but fans can take solace that the universe of Kirk, Picard, Sisko, Janeway, Burnham, and the rest are united once more. There will continue to always be possibilities, as Spock might say. Here's the problem. Alex Kurtzman has driven it into the dirt, and you're going to stick with him. So, okay, make some movies. I dare you. You can hide Star Trek Discovery and Picard to an extent behind your streaming network, not tell us how many people are actually watching it. Although it's pretty easy to extrapolate. So, for example, Watchmen, which had 600,000 people watching it in the previous week, trended number 3 on Twitter. Well, Star Trek Discovery has never trended on Twitter once when it aired. So I'm guessing 600,000 people weren't watching it on CBS All Access. I'm guessing it might have been 250,000. And that's a high estimate of how many people were watching a $10 million an episode TV series. That's basically, that's a good video on my channel. So yeah, Star Trek's not saved. I wish it were. Now, if they come in and I wouldn't be surprised if we hear that, because they're stuck with Alex Kurtzman. They unless they want to buy him out, or they bring in somebody else to supervise him, maybe create a new position. I don't know, but he's under contract. Secret Hideout's under contract. So, okay, I double dog dare you. Redstone and Viacom and CBS, make Section 30. You know what? Make Section 31 the movie. Let's see how it does. You know what? Make Star Trek Discovery the movie. Let's see how it does. Make it. I would give it a $150 million budget. Let's see what happens. You know what? Captain Pike show would probably do pretty well. Why won't you do it? You guys know the answer. It's the same reason they won't do a Superman movie. So, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Please. I need content for next year. I'll probably be done talking about Star Wars. We'll see, unless, I'll need content, and I appreciate it. And I do appreciate Sci-Fi Wire, because they're the ones who admitted that they were shills. Shiltastic. And it sucks. I hate to give that news. Now, if it changes, if somebody comes in, swoops in, and takes over Star Trek, and they're halfway decent, I will be happy. If it's, you know what? I bet you. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't mention this. I put in my video. DC Fontana passed away 2 days ago. Rest in peace. Thank you, the First Lady of Star Trek. A real talented female. She had to change her name in the 60s because she had to deal with real bullshit back in the day, not this bullshit that they're crying about now. And you know what she did? She worked her ass off. She made great Trek. She was a great lady, lived a good long life. Thank you for everything you've done, DC Fontana. Thank you. So, and now we got the piss ants crying about this shit now. So if somebody comes in, I bet you there is a woman out there. I bet you there's a lot of women out there that know more Star Trek than Alex Kurtzman. So go find one of them, please, to run Star Trek. I don't care what's in their pants. I don't care what skin color they are. I just want them to know a lot about Star Trek. And I want them to be talented. And I want them to write good Star Trek for everyone. And not this mean, partisan hackery that we've been getting on CBS all ass. Okay, so if you don't want to believe me, that's fine. But remember, I'm in agreement with Red Letter Media, Robert Meyer Burnett, a lot of people on this issue that probably wouldn't agree with me on shit outside of that. And we're in agreement over Star Trek. That's how bad things have gotten. Okay, so Ruin of House Roundhead for $4.99. Check out Pistol Shrimp's channel and watch their 20-minute video where they put Tommy Wiseau in Star Wars. It's hilarious. Oh, yeah, you brought that up. I haven't seen it yet, but thank you, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead. I appreciate it. Tommy Wiseau's funny. Yeah, I mean, do you ever seriously wonder, does he have a condition or something? Or is he just wacky guy? Or is he, is there something going on there? Little touched, a little afflicted. V for $1.99. Daredevil season 3 greater than season 1? No. Bullseye, Fisk were amazing. No. I honestly, Daredevil season 3 is not better than season 1. Actually, I don't like Daredevil season 3 that much. He wasn't in his costume. Bullseye, It was better than most of the Netflix stuff, V. It was good. But I haven't watched it since. I've watched Daredevil season 1 all the way through 7 times. Daredevil season 1 is the best thing Marvel has ever put out. Period. Bullseye was good. Fisk was a little cucked in season 3. Sorry. There was a little bit of that 2019 stuff in there. Not anything to completely derail the show, but it was there. But no, I'm glad you liked it. And we can agree to disagree. That's okay. For $1, message retracted. Sorry. SJ Shady for SJ Shady 0169 for $5. Hi, Gary. Great content. Thank you. Glad you tell it like it is. Wanted to know, are you familiar with Red Dwarf sci-fi comedy? If so, what are your thoughts? I am familiar. I'm not super familiar though. I probably should get familiar though. So many people love that show. But I'm not that familiar with it. But maybe I should be. I'm watching less new stuff and watching more old stuff. Somebody sent me Blake 7, the complete series. I'm embarking on that over the holidays, and I will do a full review on that, and maybe Red Dwarf will come later. But I actually owe my patrons a bunch of Doctor Who reviews, and I'm going to review all the Christmas specials, except for Jody shit. I'm not reviewing that again. Not ever again. I already have to deal with that on the 1st. By the way, yes, I will be live right after Doctor Who airs in the UK. I have a way to watch it in the UK, so you can join me here. It's Sunday. It's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific time, New Year's Day. We're reviewing Spy Hard or whatever it's called. Yeah, Doctor Who. Series 12. Rock Flanagan for 666. The super chat of the beast. Thank you. I agree. Paramount would be a better name. Paramount Entertainment Group. Epstein didn't take the coward's way out, but hell welcomes him. Yes, it does. And may he burn forever, eternally. And may his friends follow him soon. And may they be exposed and humiliated and made, God, I would love to see justice, but it won't happen. We'll hear about it after, when it's too late. Lloyd for $2. About time for bed. Got to work at 6 a.m. till noon. Oh, Lloyd. Well, have a good day at work tomorrow. I'll be thinking about you, man. Thank you. Good night. Fizzanthrope for $5. Gary, all these franchises need the Days of Future Past ending. The main character wakes up and everything bad is reset to before the suck. I agree with that. And that's why I genuinely like that movie. And I know it's a Bryan Singer joint, but I just like to think Matthew Vaughn was involved, not Matt Reeves. Matthew Vaughn's a great director. He should be doing a superhero movie. Jay Terry for $5. Maybe a super genius puppets Hollywood and releases all the trash so that the fans hate woke culture so much. The real art never suffers, but probably not. I know. You mean just let it all, like, I think that's what 2019 is. I think the floodgates of woke garbage have been opened and dropped upon us. And so many things. I thought 2018 was bad. Woo! Boy, is that wrong. AKA Blonded for $5. Hi. Glad I caught up with you tonight. Thanks for the words about DC Fontana, the First Lady of Star Trek. You are AKA Blonded. You're welcome. I am sorry I didn't say it sooner. I put her at the end of my video, and Doomcock made a great tweet about her, and go check it out. And yeah, it was a bummer to hear that. Actually, my insider told me, and he's the one who told me today about the Viacom merger. And he's also the one who told me that don't get our hopes up. Third-party contracts are going to be honored, and there's going to be nothing changing with Star Trek anytime soon. Now, that could change. I hope it does. I do know that Alex Kurtzman was... I'm blanking on his name now. Les Moonves guy. And Sherry Redstone doesn't like Les Moonves people. So that might be, I mean, she might, like anybody's fireable. There's no contract that's eternal. They could fire Alex Kurtzman and bring somebody in and Sherry, do it. Do it. I'm telling you right now, there's people in our chat who could write better Star Trek than Alex Kurtzman with their eyes closed, asleep. Okay, we have been on for, I can go for 10 more minutes. I'll go for 2 hours. Sorry, you know what? Yeah, I really like doing the Nooner, and I know it's been really inconsistent. I've gotten all your emails, and a lot of people are mad because I stopped doing them. I'm going to be doing more around the first of the year. I'm going to really, really try to get it back to 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 to 3 times a week. So there will be a Nooner tomorrow. I'm not even planning on making a video until maybe Friday or tomorrow night, I'm going on television. I'm going to be on Creature Features. So let me get you to their YouTube site, but it is a local TV station called Coffee TV 20 here in the Bay Area. And it's a real TV station, but it's barely one. It's got 2 shows that I know of. It's got Dance Party USA or Bay Area or something. And every weekend, a bunch of San Franciscans get together and dance on television. And then at night on Saturday, they have Creature Features, which used to be a Bay Area show with Bob Wilkins. I wasn't here. And he's famous here, and he used to, do the horror. He would introduce like B schlock movies on television. So it got brought back by our good friend Vince Van Dahl, stage name, and Tangela and Winston, and it's out of Santa Rosa. And they are going to interview me tomorrow. So it's being taped tomorrow, and then it's going to air probably right around Christmas, a little before, a little after. I'm not sure. I've been on the show before. Let me get to the YouTube channel. I'll put it in the link. But I'm going to be talking about the Fandom Menace to the Bay Area. To the Bay Area. So, Vince is he's a sympathizer. So I'm not going to it's not going to be one of those interviews. No, it's a fun interview. And here we go. So here's their channel. You can go check it out. It's Creature Features. They got 8,000 subs. They could use a few more subs, but they just air on, they simulcast it on the YouTube channel, and it airs Sunday night. Tangela's extremely hot. So there's that. But yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to be recording tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. So I'll let you guys know. Keep it on my Twitter. I'll probably do a video from there. The set is cool as hell. And yeah, it's just a little local TV show. But they asked me on when I had 20,000 subs. It was like, I'm still happy. It was so weird. It's so weird. I'm doing this stupid show for my room. I should be embarrassed by all means. I mean, look at all these action figures. It's like a 50-year-old guy. It should be embarrassed, but I'm not. That's the thing. I don't care. It's fun. Yeah. And it turns into this shit. It's weird. It's surreal. But it's all because of you guys. You guys are awesome. So yes, I'll be doing that tomorrow night. And, The Midnight Gardener. May the Schwartz be with you, from Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Midnight Gardener, hail from Tennessee, man. Or hail to Tennessee, sorry. It's been a long time since I drove through the Smoky Mountains when I was a wee lad, long time ago. But thank you, Fenna, for 20 pounds. Been a guest on EFAP a couple of times and am absolutely behind the fight for good content. Sick of soft-minded dolts poisoning the wonder of storytelling, infesting otherworldly stories with earthbound politics. Fenna, I am sick of it too. I'm fed up. As a matter of fact, that's why I was quiet for a long time, because I didn't want to get into the fight. And then Doctor Who changed, and that was it. I was like, fuck this. I'm so mad about this, and nobody can say anything. The Doctor turned into a woman, and everybody's afraid to say the truth. This is stupid. It's cringe. It's terrible. Yes, there might be some people who genuinely like it. Oh, think of all the little girls. What about the little boys who hate the decision, by the way? And the vast, vast majority of them do, including mine. So, yeah. And to play this little cosplay Doctor, and to do it in such a meaningless way. It's just bad. It's political. And they didn't even give Jodie, honestly, a chance to win some people over, because they're like, nah, we're going to lean heavily into the partisan politics. Screw you. BBC Diversity Initiative. And yeah, the BBC used to be the gold standard of television is now just woke garbage. And I'm sick of it too. And you know what? Sitting back and shutting up doesn't get anything done. Ever. War Shadow for $5. Hi, love the channel. Care to comment on the new Jar Jar Abrams interview claiming Finn and Poe will be gay for each other in Rise of Skywalker? I thought he said no. Did he say yes? I thought I did see an article where he, let me go on. Let me find aisle 9. I'm looking for this article that I saw on, it's freaking IO9. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, whoa. Oh, dude. Force Ghost Jeremy. Somebody ripped off your idea, dude. There's a 80s thing right there. That's from today at 8 p.m. So Force Ghost Jeremy cut the A-Team to The Mandalorian, and somebody made an 80s thing to it. I guess they don't know. Force Ghost Jeremy doesn't own the idea, but he might want to check that out. Oh, I saw it in here somewhere. IO9 said, alluding to LGBTQ is not enough in Star Wars. Honestly, I don't like alluding to any kind of romance in Star Wars. Let me find it. Alluding LGBTQ IO9 Star Wars. Is that it right there? Okay, yeah. Oh, they changed the headline. Or no, they wrote multiple articles. Okay, of course they did. Of course they did. Hang on just a second. Oh my God. Freaking Gizmodo. Shameful site to begin with. I'm sorry I'm even going here. I apologize in advance. Here we go. All right, so Star Wars movies. Wait, is that off center? My bad. Star Wars movies should be so far beyond teasing LGBTQ representation at this point. Says James Whitebrook. Because I need to know who's getting it on in Star Wars. TV shows have brought with it a renewed focus on presenting diverse characters in the galaxy far, far away, be it across the spectrum of gender, race, or sexuality. While there have been strides for the latter, they have yet to come to the big screen. So, having no problems with anybody who identifies any way they want. I don't care. I've never cared. I don't care who marries who. But just don't tell me what to do. Ever. And we're good. But like Star Wars, I know their counter argument to this, but sexualizing Star Wars is something that shouldn't be done. And I know the counter argument. I'm very aware of it. This isn't about sexualizing. It's about normalizing. Well, if it's here and there once in a while, like it is in real life, sure. I think in certain aspects, things are forced, certain things are overrepresented, certain things are underrepresented. What's underrepresented now in Hollywood is talent. And I think that's something Hollywood should focus on. But you know what? They're so caught up in this stuff, they're gonna lose the thing is, what Hollywood should have done is not listen to anybody and, just naturally do it. Just naturally do it, naturally normalize it like they have been over the last few years. But for the interest groups, that wasn't enough. And they don't care. They don't want more representation. They just want to talk about it. They want to bring attention to themselves. And this is a way for the access media to assert power over these giant corporations, making them look bad. It's the last thing they've got because the access media is losing their influence every day. So that's why they ramped this shit up. That's why they're asking Billy D. Williams about his what he identifies as. You want to know why? Because this is the only thing that gives them power anymore. They have none. They have no influence. So what they're doing is it's like an abusive relationship. They're guilting Hollywood into doing all this crazy shit that's costing them millions, billions. They're like, oh my God, because they would just be scared to death of being accused of being. Used to be one of my favorite sites. I haven't been to that thing in years. Who gives a shit about? Probably still ranks. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? The funny thing is, as many subs as Jeremy has or Doomcock has, I think a lot of people just don't sub. Because when I was at New York Comic Con and Star Trek Las Vegas and San Diego Comic Con, everybody knew who Jeremy was, who Doomcock was to a certain extent. They were, I got pulled off the street in New York, which was weird. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But Hollywood is bending the knee to them so much. And I think that's a huge part of this. Huge fucking part of this. And they need to just stop. and start making entertainment. You do it naturally. Everybody's happy. These people will never, ever, ever be happy. You know what? The Fandom Menace, it wouldn't take much for the Fandom Menace to be happy. You fire Kathleen Kennedy, Alex Kurtzman, the Fandom Menace would probably be pretty fucking happy the next day. You know what? Just don't make things woke. You can make them, fill them with representation and all the other stuff. Just don't make it woke. Like the Black Widow film. If you make just a Black Widow movie, kind of like Winter Soldier, where she's kicking a lot of ass, and you know what, we're not bringing in woke politics and making men or women look bad, making anybody look bad, just telling a Marvel story, I would think that's great. That would be fantastic. It still looks kind of boring to me, but it still would be great. But yeah. So here we go. The new era of Star Wars at the box office, amplified by a legion of new books, comics, and video games and TV shows. Is this going to be in a comic book, by the way? Be it across the spectrum of gender, race, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It's not like we haven't been talking about earnest about the LGBTQ plus rep Star Wars. God, this doesn't, the thing is, it's so obvious. This doesn't, it's so political now. It's so overtly political. Just say so. Just say so. Although fandom drove the cover, you know what? Because, like, I don't know, gay people I interact with in San Francisco, I've never heard them once say, you know, I really need to see a gay person in Star Wars. I mean, not once have I heard them say that. You know, we need more. Never mind. I won't say that. That'll get me in trouble. Repeatedly talked about the reaction of Finn Poe or Storm Pilot, blah, 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 Force. 4 years later, little has changed. Marvel Comics Dr. Aphra, which is a ripoff of my character, by the way. Cosmic Crater Girl, the girl that's on my banner. If you look at the original picture of her, Dr. Aphra is a total ripoff of that. I'm just saying. The reveal itself, clumsily handed given the creative moment. So she was a lesbian or something like that. I'm just looking for when Jar Jar says, Finn and Poe's relationship to me is far deeper than a romantic one, Abrams told Variety in a recent interview when asked about the new film. See, I had to get by 7 fucking paragraphs to get to this. It is a deep bond that these two have, not just because of the trial by fire in which they met, but also because of the willingness to be as intimate as they are, as afraid as they are, as unsure as they are, and still be bold and still be daring and still be brave. What the fuck does that mean? So they're gayer than gay? I mean, like, what does that mean? It is a deep, I mean, like a band of brothers bond. Yeah, because I really, that's what I get after watching The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I mean, I get a bond, like fuck Saving Private Ryan, you know, forget it. No, forget Enemy Mine at the end, you know, that bond. No, I get it from Finn and Poe. Forget Dumb and Dumber, that bond. I get it from Finn and Poe. Boyega added, it wouldn't be too weird to present the characters as a couple. They are just platonic at the moment. But while Boyega, who has more than happily fueled fans' love of the chemistry between himself and Isaac on and off screen with adorably fun Instagram skits. Oh, Instagram skits. Oh my God, I hate Instagram. During Rise of Skywalker press tour, left the potential open for future stories. Oh my God, could you remember back in the day when there was Luke and Han? It was Huk, or Lon. Yeah, I remember when we were shipping Luke and Han and their cute little Polaroid posts that they would put up back in the 70s. It was so adorable. We have not progressed as a society. During Rise of Skywalker's press tour, left the potential open for more stories. Oh yeah, comic books. And we're not going to tell the story within our movie. Don't be crazy. Isaac instead directly addressed his own disappointment that the Star Wars had chosen not to capitalize on the potential it had to present 2 of its current major characters as explicitly queer. Personally, I kind of hoped and wished that maybe they would have been taken further in the other films, but I don't have control. So this is how Jar Jar Abrams wins in Hollywood. I'm going to repeat what he said. Finn and Poe. So they go, why aren't Finn and Poe gay? Jar Jar Abrams responds, their relationship to me is far deeper one than a romantic one. It's a deeper relationship than a romantic one. So it's like a brotherly bond one that they're occasionally willing to shtup each other for. I don't know. Is it a Breaking Bad bond? Are you saying that's more, maybe that's why Mrs. Abrams started Time's Up. The Finn and Poe aren't a couple is not really the disappointing part of Abrams. No, it's really not. There's so much more to be disappointed in Abrams. Boyega and Isaac's discussion. It won't stop the legions of fans that have now spent 4 years telling LGBTQ stories about these characters from continuing to tell them. Hell, it wouldn't stop them even if Rise brings with either... who cares? Yeah, it's not going to stop them. And they can have their space to tell those stories. I don't occupy that space and I never would. So bless them for doing it. But but Hollywood listening to them. Oh boy. This is why it's the most obvious thing ever. And see, they don't really believe in your cause. Dummy. What do you think they did? Do you think they actually care? Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. After explicitly denying one popular potential piece of representation to offer no concrete alternative beyond vaguely dancing around that there is indeed some level of it in the Rise of Skywalker at some point, asking for a level of trust in this specific matter that the Star Wars movie franchise has yet to prove it has earned. Wow. Listen to this fucking judgment. It's a fucking piece of art. It is fiction. It doesn't require you or your trust or anything you fucking demand. It doesn't require anything I fucking demand. Believe me, they don't fucking listen at all. So, yeah, go, you know what? Keep listening to IO9, Star Wars. Keep listening to IO9. You know what? If it makes sense in a story, great. If you're just going to put it on the screen to put it on the screen, then it just takes away from the story. It does. Are we going to explore this relationship? Are we going to see them go on a date? Are we going to see, are we setting up something? Does one of them die? Go on a revenge thing? Like, why does it need to be in there? Why? Does it need to be in there so you can have some kind of power over the franchise? Do you need to see yourself, James Whitbrook? Are you 10? Are you 10? Okay, I need my 50-year-old alcoholic representation in Star Wars. Where's my 50-year-old alcoholic representation? And as a matter of fact, every time I enter a room, I want you to all stop drinking. You should all stop drinking right away. As a matter of fact, marijuana should be illegal again because it makes me as a recovering addict uncomfortable. And it could literally threaten my life. So, yeah. So let's yeah. Oh, you don't want weed to be illegal again. Okay, well, then maybe the world doesn't have to adapt to you. Just saying. That's what recovery teaches me. The world doesn't have to adapt to me. I have to adapt to it. I have to accept my flaws, and I have to adapt to the world. That's what AA meetings are. Because I was born with some bad wiring. Demand something, please. I will do the opposite, even if it adversely affects me. All right. Hot Sauce, thank you for joining the Proto-Molecule level. Original Star Wars fan for $5. Most important thing you've said recently, in my opinion, there's no going back. That's why I simply can't go back to Doctor Who or Star Wars sucks. Is this thing jumping? I'll refresh. Yeah, hit refresh, folks. I'm sorry. I just lost a bunch of people. Hit refresh. It's doing it to mine too. Hang on. There we go. Damn, lost a bunch of people on that. That sucks. Oh well, that's life. thank you for all who hung in there. I appreciate you. Cuban 7 necktie for $5. Hi, Gary. The super chat should be much more. Oh, no, it doesn't. I appreciate anything you guys give, really. I appreciate all you do. Thanks for all the way for keeping it real. We got your back. Your pal in Pittsburgh, Jose. Jose, thank you for having my back. I got yours too. I appreciate you. Thank you. All the way in Pittsburgh. That's cool. I saw my Chargers beat your Steelers in the AFC Championship in 1994. Shouldn't have won the game, man. The Steelers kind of thumped them all game, but Chargers got lucky and went to the Super Bowl. And then they got their asses kicked by the 49ers. Greatest thing in Charger history. Yeah, it's all your fault, War Shadow. I went to that article. Heart Sauce, thank you for becoming a member again. Thank you. Original Star Wars fan for $5. Most important thing you've said, is there's no go back. Thank you, original Star Wars fan. Thank you. Thank you again for the $5. Then there is no going back. You can't. They still could have expanded on it and been nice. It was all there for them. They did it the hard way. They thought they were doing it the easy way. And you know who told them to do this? Jar Abrams. I guarantee you the person who got rid of the EU is Jar Jar Abrams. Kathleen Kennedy probably didn't even know what the fuck it was, but she listened to everything he said, and he doesn't like canon because it requires him to do fucking work. I mean, I can't get my head around it. If somebody gave me Star Trek to run, I would go, hey, I need 3 months. What do you need 3 months for? I need to read every book, watch every episode, watch every movie, watch every interview, watch every documentary I can get my hands on in 3 months to know everything possible about what I'm about to take on, because this is a huge responsibility. This is American mythology. This isn't fucking Hawaii Five-0. This is Star Trek. This is Star Wars. But now, you know what? Star Wars is just a category on Disney Plus. Honestly, I was expecting them to be gay after episode 7. A really long hug. They had everything together when they gave him his jacket. Classic boyfriend move. Always give your girlfriend your jacket, says Dustin Rogers for $10. Yeah, make them gay. Fine. Are they gonna get it on in the Falcon? Like, what's the importance of it? If maybe you killed one of them and there's like a little revenge mission or for motivation, sure. Okay, fine. But it would just be superficial. So I don't know what the point is, but if it's not that important to James, to Whitbrook. It's not, it's a political measure. I question everybody's motivation. I do. It's part of my thing, but the motivation of James Whitbrook is to write about stuff in IO9. If he personally really cares so much about representation, become an activist. Please don't. We've got enough of them. Calcifier for $2. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Eric K, what's up? Star Walk Mountain Gary. Star Walk, yes. Thank you, Eric K, for $1.99. Star Walk. Cracklin for $10. If they wanted room to grow the Star Wars franchise, Luke would be running a Jedi Academy and new Jedis rather than original heroes failing and the New Republic and allowing the Empire to rebuild. Yeah. So unless they're going to rebuild the New Republic, and I doubt they're even going to give this lip service in the film, we're just going to end with them beating Palpatine. What's the government? What did you build? Why did we kill everybody? Who were those planets? Those planets that Starkiller Base kill? We don't even know. Do we know the names of them? Maybe. Jar Jar Abrams is such a hack. He's such a hack. I can't believe so many people fall for this guy. God. Gary, have you ever thought of creating your old sci-fi content? Maybe a series down the road. I've had a comic book I've had in my head for all my life. If I could make something out of that, if I had the budget and somebody to actually write the story for me, because I was going to make it a comic, but it got too big for me. It's like epic fantasy now, because I've had this notebook that I just added ideas to and timelines and everything. And it's called Dark Legion. But I mean, that was no, I want to just be YouTube. I just want a YouTube. I'm good. I'm happy commenting on this stuff. That would take away from from this. I'm already not doing this enough. I need to do it more. So we're gonna cut this one short right there. Thank you, Orville Nation. I'm sorry the thing farted out on you, everybody. I thank everybody for joining. Nooner tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. 10:30 a.m. Be here. I will be on the air tomorrow. And then afterwards, I think Doomcock is going to be on tomorrow night at 5 because he's not going to do his Friday show. So there'll be no Exozone. And then Friday Night Tights, of course, Mandalorian, all that stuff. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you all for watching my video. I don't know if anybody's going to watch that video today. I worked on it for 4 fucking days. So I'm glad you guys did. I'm really glad you liked it. So thank you all. You are wonderful. Thank you to the Modrotics. Quarter Black Garrett, how are you? Write a book and self-publish for fun. I might. That's the best way. Do it for fun. Hey, Gary, keep up the great work you are doing. Hail the Fandom Menace. Much love from Canada. Hail Canada. And thank you. And the Fandom Menace has been doing some fantastic work. Jeremy's doing great work over there. All the Geeks and Gamers crew. Mary. Like I said, RK Ryan is... Nyla Shadow, what's up? Thank you. Thank you, Mark Lurzeth and Ryan at RK Outpost. Please subscribe to Ryan. Chris Persia, how are you? Thank you. RK Outpost, Ryan Jeremy and I talked him into YouTubing and he's doing well and it does my heart good. He's really taken to it. Did I see Mikey Woods? Kaylee, the Cinema Queen, is here too. What's up? So the Modrotics, Quarter Black, I'll talk to you soon, man. I'll call you. I'll call you or message you. But until next time, everybody, please go to nerdrotic.com for my live stream schedule. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please make sure you're still subscribed, especially over the next 5 days. Again, YouTube is going to be scrubbing those old subs, and there's a lot of collateral damage. So please make sure. And I will see you in the next video. And remember, not all who wander are lost.